Muffinman Mike, as you can see.
Man, Mike.
How's it going?
Muffinman Mike. Good,
Yeah.
brother. We appreciate you coming on. Obviously, another local competitor, local coach. Good to get another perspective. We're going to talk a little bit about the Arnold and then go over some questions. And we have a little wager, a little bet going on right now for Arnold. If you want to jump in with us, we put it in at $25 in the top 5. Derek's excluded because he's coaching someone, so he has to be. But if you want to pitch in and have some fun with us, you could.
Yeah,
man.
we don't want to just take his money.
He's a little biased.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
client, Patty Chupan, looks pretty good, so.
Yeah. We did a couple of we did like the Olympia ones, which I just posted like a thing on my Instagram. I was like, hey, anyone want to just like bet on this for $5? And I literally got, not trying to hype myself up. I don't think I'm going to do this well for the Arnold. The Arnold's I literally only got 2 people wrong on my guess for the Olympia, so we'll see how accurate it is for the Arnold.
Hey, real quick, dude, how you been doing, man? You're looking freaking huge.
I'm good. Life's good. I'm bodybuilding wise, things are going well. I just ended my first like mass phase of the off season. So just so you guys know, I competed at the same show that Luis did in June, Dennis James, yeah. And I competed in Classic. And my goal is to not make Classic again. The goal is to be able to actually make Open and look like an Open guy. So I'm just doing an extended off season. So it's going well. I got up to 273 of like water buffalo, but not terrible. And
no, I think you look good. That last update I saw you look really good.
No, thanks, man. We're trying. So yeah.
We should pull him up, Marcel. You can.
I'm
you beat me to it.
I don't know, bro.
There you go. That middle picture, I think that's one of the latest updates. No, not that one. Where he's hitting the most muscular. Sorry.
Right here?
The middle signal, yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that.
It looks like it's a video. I think you have to freeze it once it gets to that point.
Yeah,
that was started, I assume, right there. Right? That was like your first year or so.
First.
Wait, that was you, Mike? Oh shit! I thought that was somebody else popping up.
I ate my old self.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one I wanted to see. Pause it.
No, I got check-ins from the end of the mass because I'm trying to like log the progress semi-frequently. I got one down below this of like all the mandatories. And that was the end of the mass. I got up to 273, so softer, but I'd never been above 254 before. So I'm just trying to
Yeah. And what were you on stage, if you don't mind me asking?
I had dipped below 200 when I was depleted. I stepped on stage at like 205, 204.
That was this show right here?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
This one just has like, I just posted it. It just has like a bunch of clips from my first shows and progressing along.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You started Men's Physique as well?
Yeah, man. Back when.
I feel you. I was there too, man.
Yeah.
You used to be pretty.
Yeah.
You're pretty.
The pretty boy.
That side tricep looked good.
It's my favorite pose. When I lean down, my waist sucks in quite a bit. So side try is like my favorite. Hit it like the black and gray shot of Dorian doing the
one like back type height like that. Yeah, there you go.
I love hitting it like that. This is what I got on my posing room wall.
Yeah, dude. You have a very good shape overall, and just adding more muscles to your physique is only going to benefit you. You have very good shape, small waist, white clavicles.
6 times, slowly but surely, 5-10 pounds a year, and just inching up. So,
yeah, man, that's all it is. It's a marathon. And just keep slapping it on where you can, and eventually we'll all get there at some point, right?
That's the hope.
Yeah, are you going to keep going
before we get hurt?
Literally.
Yeah, for subsequent snaps. You're gonna go this whole full year off season? Is that kind of what you're thinking? 2024.
Compete next year. Are you gonna compete next year as well, or what's your plan?
I mean, I'll see kind of how my body recovers and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go off of that. I just obviously turned 30, so I'm just kind of that age where I still got a little bit of time. I don't have to rush it per se, but Definitely gonna have to take this next opportunity and do something with it.
Yeah, we're getting old. We're getting old.
Your hair's just starting to pop out.
What about you guys? Derek, I know you're a big coach, but are you still competing at all? And Marcel, what about you too?
Well, yeah, I was trying to do the Whitney Jones this year, but my legs are really like slacking right now. Like they're lagging pretty bad.
It's just the hammies. Just the hammies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty beat up in like the lower half of my body. Like I've had a torn hamstring and I've had knee problems since I was like 18 years old. So every time I train, I've never been able to go heavy, like not since I was like 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like I can't really press heavy weights. I can't really do free weights like barbell squats or anything like that. I can't really put too much pressure on my knees at all. And it's been like that forever. So I actually worked with Luis's coach for a couple months on it, and he helped me out tremendously. So he helped me with a ton of corrective exercises and like the therapy I needed. So I can kind of press a little bit of weight, but it's like it's nothing. It's definitely not. It's not impressive. So we'll see. I would love to compete, but at the same time, it's like
maybe you just need to add that therapy back into the rotation.
Maybe.
Just saying.
Yeah. When the time is right, the time will be right. You know, you'll know when that is.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I mean, I have a lot of clients that I coach, and it's very hard for me to be able to maintain that many relationships at once when I get super depleted, because it's like it takes a lot out of me to be able to go the extra mile for every single person. And it's like, you start to cut corners on a lot of things when you start prep. It's like anything that isn't absolutely required. Like if you don't have to do it, you're not going to do it. Right? You're like, okay, what are the check boxes that I need? Especially like 2 weeks out, like you're not performing at whatever you're doing at that point. If you're a real competitor, like if you're a very, very high level competitor, the last 2 weeks they're not going to, you're not setting any records at your work.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. No, as far as me, I'm pretty sure we're going to be doing nationals this year. Pretty sure. I'm just kind of following whatever coach decides to do. I don't know. We'll see. I have a baby coming end of April, so that's gonna be a big factor in.
Yeah.
Oh, if I'm not gonna say if my wife lets me compete, but if my wife is gonna need me not to compete, know, because who knows how that'll go, and whatever coach says will go. But I would love to.
Open.
We're in the line. We might do both. Because my classic cutoff. Yeah, well, my classic cutoff is going to be 198.
Yeah.
198.
That's light heavy.
And light heavy is 197 too. So
increase, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many pounds? You get 3 pounds in the last year when that was updated, or you get a little bit?
I think we got 4. I think it went up by 4. Yeah.
20. Yeah.
So
literally, you might as well do both. It's the same thing.
That's where we're at. I like bodybuilding better. I like competing in bodybuilding better. I like the bodybuilding poses. What was that?
It's only an extra $300.
Yeah.
True.
2 shots at a room.
Right? Yeah. Right. And I literally enjoy bodybuilding competition more than I do classic. Like being on stage, I hit more poses. I hit the poses that I like. So that's my thought. I know I'm not big enough, even if I would, happen to luckily turn pro as a light heavy. Like I got no future within the next fucking 10 years of competing on an open bodybuilding stage. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
12.
So the kind of decision maybe go classic once you go pro. See how that?
Yeah.
Because obviously you have an extra 10 pounds as well. Extra 10 pounds to grow.
So I think that's where I would get stuck in, is that classic, or I would just literally have to shut it down for like 4 to 5 years before I step on a pro stage.
I mean, I think it's perfect. Either way, you get a pro card, go into classic. 10 pounds of muscle is still going to take you probably a couple of years to put on, and then kind of from there decide, how.
Being realistic, I would say 2 years. Yeah.
It's funny enough. I think we're all around the same age, right? We're all in the early 30s, right? Or late 20s, or.
Yeah, I'm 28.
Fuck.
Okay. Derek, how old are you again? Derek?
29.
Okay. Yeah,
Louise, how old are you? Please don't tell me
30.
I'm the oldest one in this bitch.
You are.
He's 30.
Fuck.
He just.
God damn it. Man, that
So
sucks.
you're 90. You're 92.
I
Or
am
one?
not. I am January of '93.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're
Oh, okay.
32
I'm
Just
October
barely
93.
too.
as well. Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, so that makes me feel like shit.
You're going to do the Nationals, and then that's in July, then, right? Or no, that's the
No,
USA
Nationals in December.
year. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, end of year December.
Okay.
But yeah, Mike, why don't you tell us a bit more about yourself? I mean, we know you're a competitor now. What do you do? You're a coach, from what I've heard. Business owner.
I just started coaching.
Mhm.
I'm like in case study mode when it comes to coaching, working with a couple people for free and helping a couple of additional lifestyle. I got one person who has a transformation. What's the one in Houston with from Christian Guzman?
Oh, the
Summer championships.
Yeah,
summer shredder.
we're shredding. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like the transformation division, so it's all major fat loss. So I just do it for fun at this point. I work full time. I have a 9 to 5 that pays the bills and pays for bodybuilding, and that's what I'm doing right now until something changes. I mean, the goal is I'm using that just to fuel this lifestyle and stocking up as much money as I can, and hopefully down the road, my retirement goal would be to own a gym, and that's what I would love to do, like way in the future. But um, I'm originally from California. Um, I growing up, I played soccer and ran track, so I never like lifted weights in high school and started lifting weights like my senior year of high school. I took a PE class that was like weight
Yeah.
training 101 or whatever, and I just fell in love with that, stopped playing sports, and then just started training throughout college. And I actually started training kind of like a power lifter. I thought I was going to get into powerlifting. I just loved training heavy.
Mhm.
Um, but over the course of time, I think there's something always in the back of my head that just loved bodybuilding and muscle. My dad was always a really big guy, you know, 240, 230, 240, 5'8", just like big, strong dude. So I think like something in the back of my head was always wired to like, that is what a man should be. That's what like I want to be,
Yeah.
strong and big. Um, so I decided to do a show in 2017 and just fell in love with the process, and I've been pursuing that while
How many
pursuing my,
shows have you done?
I think 5 now.
5.
I did one every year for like the first beginning, and then
It's
what's
been
it
a long
called?
off season now.
Then stopped competing for like 2 or 3 years, and I did the Megatron in 2021, and then I just competed again there. So
Yeah,
um,
and that's a lesson to everybody that I think Mike did the right thing here, right? Like the first few years of his competition career, he competed once a year to get the time and knowledge under his belt of what competing feels like. But
Yeah.
then it comes to a point where you're like, realistically, in order for me to be a top national level competitor, I have to stop competing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just don't get that, and I was one of them. Like I've competed way too much for way too long, instead of just being like, okay, I don't need another plastic trophy. I don't need another local show under my belt. What I need is time away from the shows, time under weights, and just being a good off-season bodybuilder for a couple of years before I
Well,
can really improvements.
I think it's just always so easy, obviously, to be in prep. It's always so much flashier.
Yeah,
It's obviously funner to post. It's cooler. It gets you probably more attention. Off season, you literally have to go away, train, eat your meals, and do the stuff that nobody really cares about. It's like,
yeah.
all right, it's
Yeah.
boring. No one, so
So I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like me personally, I am better at everything when I'm in prep. Like just all around, I'm just more. I feel like myself more when I'm in prep because I don't have any options of anything. I'm a person that doesn't really like options.
Yeah.
When I know what my plan is, I just knock out the plan and I strive in that environment. Like that's where I do good. But when I'm in the off season, then all of a sudden you got like all this build up anxiety, in my opinion, all the time of like, oh, we got to go do this as a family, or we have this event, or we have that event. And then you're like, but I want to train and I want to stay on my diet and I want to stay on my foods. But there you have all these fucking distractions popping up that usually don't even cross your mind when you're in prep. You're like, okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm coming, but I got all my shit with me. So translating that into off season is definitely something that could take people to the next level per se. If you can translate that in the off season and be that same person, except with a lot more food and a lot more energy, like sky is the limit at that point. But me personally, when I'm in prep, I feel great. Obviously, the last 4 weeks you feel like shit because you're super low body fat, but like mentally and schedule wise and all that, like that's where I strive the best. I just because there's no questions about what I have to do, right? It's just like I have my agenda, I have my boxes that I got to check, and I make sure I check all of them, and they're non-negotiables. Like every single one of those is non-negotiable, and that's it.
I think it's that too. In prep, we're so much more like cutthroat. We're not going to do that. We're going to stick to our regimen. We probably do skip out on a lot of the social gatherings and all that. But in the off season, if you're with somebody, you have family, you have to be more flexible. Because then what's your excuse? Oh, I'm in prep. Oh, no, I'm not. So it's like you want to be a little more lenient. But like you're saying, it's a lot more difficult because that's actually the time you have to be on top of everything even more.
Yeah. Hey, prep is easy. Prep is like, not prep is easy, but if you really break it down, prep is the easy part. It's just follow the plan.
So
just
follow the final 4 or 5 weeks is rough. Yes,
yeah.
like you said,
Just follow what your coach says. In the off season, it's follow what your coach says, but you got all these fucking demons everywhere all the time. They're like, hey, why don't you come fuck off with us today and tomorrow and then the day after that and the day after that, you know? So that's a tough one to find a good balance of.
Coming up, were you guys more, what was your, in the beginning when you were first starting to bodybuild and you were first starting to compete, were you guys pretty quick to learn the process and you knew what you're getting yourself into and you dedicated yourself 100%? Like, I can only speak for me, like personally, coming up, like I was a yo-yo dieter, right? I had a terrible relationship with food. When I started that first prep, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. I'd never dieted before. I had a structured meal plan before, but I was following shit from like bodybuilding.com, like looking at the meal plans in the magazines of what Jay Cutler did. And I'm like, overeating way too much, was stupid fat. So in the beginning, when bodybuilding, I was like very yo-yo-y as far as I put on too much fat. I'm like, shit, I got to get lean. Okay, I did a show as my excuse to get lean. Then I put on too much fat after the show. Like, over the course of time, it wasn't as much of a rebound, but I still put on way too much fat. So like now I can say I've gotten a lot better at being more structured and living the lifestyle all the time. In the last like year and a half, I would say it's like I'm pretty much dialed in all off season, and that's how this off season, the first one, this long extended one, is the first time I'm treating an off season like it's like a prep. Like everything is 100%. But I'd love to hear what your guys' experience is like coming up. Like,
so to answer your question, here's a cool thing that I thought about a while back, and I don't think we've talked about this on the podcast here, but in our sport, ignorance is bliss. And what I mean by that is if you don't know what the fuck is going on and you're just following what your coach says, 99% of the time you have a fairly easy prep, right? Because you don't overthink things. Like the first prep I did, I got this coach named Eric. No problem with him, cool dude, whatever. But like I didn't know the diet changes that he's making or whatever it is, like what kind of effect they're gonna have on me. It was just follow the plan. I didn't know any better at that point. So like I didn't know what depletion feels like. And like so he would cut carbs or whatever. I wouldn't even know what that did, that he cut those things. To me it was just like, okay, I'll just change my meal plan. I'll just change my meals. You know what I mean? So ignorance is bliss, and I feel like the more I learned about the sport, mentally the preps got harder for me in an aspect where I started over fucking thinking everything I was doing. I would start questioning everything I was doing. I would question the protocols. I would fucking break down my pictures way too hard, or you know what I mean? So like for a competitor that has a solid coach, ignorance is bliss. Like, don't pay attention to what the fuck is going on. Just do what he says. Ignorance is bliss, because mentally, that first prep that I did, it was tough towards the end, because I was like, I'm never doing this shit again towards the end. But during it, there wasn't like anything like that I go through now where I start overanalyzing things. It was just do things. It was just another day. It was changes came, like, you know how sometimes you get a change from your coach, now you're like, fuck, this is gonna hurt this week, isn't it? Like, I'm hurting. I know I'm gonna hurt. Back then it wasn't like that. I was like, okay, I just got my update. Okay, this is my new plan. Let's just go do it. You know what I mean? So the more I learned, the harder mentally got where I overanalyze things. And I think that's a problem for a lot of competitors, that the more experience they get, they overanalyze shit. And then once they get some good drugs into them, they start feeling a little alpha, and then they stop trusting their coach because they feel a little alpha, you know? But then when they step back after the fact, look back at the process, and I was like, that was the trend talking. I'm sorry, dude. You know, maybe you were right. So, yeah, ignorance is bliss, and just follow the plan. That's all it is, man. Prep is easy. Follow the plan. The off season is same thing, because that's where the improvements are made. And but that's tougher. That's 100% tougher for me personally than it is to be in prep. In prep, I strive.
Go, Dirk.
I learned a lot before. I mean, when I first started out in high school, I was just like this fat, nerdy kid. Like, I was like super smart and stuff. I was in all these clubs. So, like, president of the academic decathlon, I was the first president in our state to take our first president in our school to take our team to state. I was in the research club. I was in the National Honor Society. I was in honors and AP classes. I was like pretty solid in school, but I was like this fat, nerdy kid, and kind of figured out that like chicks don't dig fat, nerdy kids. So I picked up.
So you got money.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, look at this. Oh, hey, it's me. Oh yeah, that was my sophomore year of homecoming, and like I tried to like talk to girls about going with me, and they just.
Oh, no, that's cute. That's a cute guy right there. No, that's a cute guy. You're a cute guy. I'm saying, you gotta have the confidence. Chubby guys get girls too.
My fiance is beautiful, and I look at my fucking face, dude. That's horrendous.
You got cheeks. That doesn't mean you're chubby. You're fucking jacked. You just got cheeks.
He's got cheeks and biceps.
Yeah, bro. Anytime I'm on cycle, my face inflates like a motherfucker. Anytime. Doesn't matter what I do. All my blood levels are perfect. I'm going to get them checked again this week. It just inflates.
There's a reason why I grew up here.
There's your fiance. Shout out to fiance.
She is the best. Yes. Hello, fiance.
I'm trying to find any older pictures of you. Anyway, you can continue story. I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No, you're good. So I was in a Big O Tire, and I picked up this magazine, and I saw Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Body, on it. You guys ever heard of that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So this book invented the keto diet before the keto diet was famous. So it was like, it wasn't really keto, but it was basically like, you just can't eat any carbs. The dude was like, You can eat anything that you want 6 days a week. He's like, anything, but it can't have carbs. So he's like, you can do like sticks of butter if you want. He's like, you can do just unlimited steaks, chicken breasts, whatever you want, right? But he didn't call it keto, some random ass name for the diet. And I started doing this, and I would drop weight super fucking quick. And I remember like charting in my bathroom, like on this like graph paper, my weight every day. And I would analyze it, and I would figure out that like drinking more water would help me lose more weight, and like all these variables. And I brought it into my gym teacher because like he was kind of a dick to me, but I brought it to my gym teacher in high school. And I was like, look, dude, I'm down 15 pounds in 2 weeks. He's like, that's impossible.
Click out.
Up.
Go to that serious mass. No, down. Click out. Go to that one that he's holding the serious mass bag. I love that. Look at that. Serious mass.
Go down to
optimum.
Come on, you're 4 and you're not blind.
I couldn't hear you guys. You guys were talking about
middle, right
this
there.
one. I thought you said serious ass, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this
well,
one.
look.
No, it's serious mass. I thought you said serious ass, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I'm looking for. Am I looking for Derek's ass somewhere? I don't see it.
I got you.
Someone with
I'm
serious
picking up what you're putting down. He's not getting it. It's fine.
Yeah, he's foreign. He says like every time.
I see it now.
Jesus
Okay, leave me
Christ.
alone. I got too many windows going on at the same time here. That's my excuse.
Yeah, so I followed that diet and I started learning about all this stuff, and like I learned as much as I could about like the science behind nutrition, the science behind training. Like I just studied, I did journal studies, I learned about drugs, I would buy as many guides as I possibly can. And then I met this one nurse practitioner and he gave me like $15,000 worth of ebooks. And I'm talking like 150 plus ebooks from like anybody you could ever imagine. Anybody you've ever seen sell like a training guide, like Y3T, right? Like Yoda. Like Ben Pakulski's guides, the Kino Body, right?
Mhm.
Every book you could ever imagine is in this folder. Dude, I read every fucking one of those. I have gone through every one of those books. I know every protocol. I've Bradley Martin's fucking Every Day is Arm Day. Like I have Callie Marble shit, dude. I've read everything you can imagine. I've taken John J3U. I've taken that fucking course. I've taken Dave Palumbo's course. I've interacted and trained with some of the fucking best, dude. Like I just have studied more than anybody else has studied. Like that's all I fucking do is study this. So
Yeah.
like when I would like work with these coaches, like I first started off with a natural coach when I was enhanced. So I didn't have any guidance on the gear into the show, but it was Tyler's nutrition and training, and they just gave me macros and they let me do my own diet on the spreadsheet. So I would like kind of like write notes every week as like what was happening. I'd drop a little bit more weight and I'd be like, okay, this amount of carb drop, maybe this drop this much weight. I recorded the peak week protocol, and then I did my next show. And it was really shitty. My coach was super shitty. Then after that, I worked with Cuban, and every single fucking time we would check in, I would write down exactly what he saw, and I would do the adjustments and everything, and I would just record as much data. I was like, okay, we're adding this, we're removing this. This is a water cut, everything. And then I started working with like Troy Alves. I worked with him, and he's helped me with a couple preps. And so I mean, like, if you just reach out to somebody and you're like, hey, I have this competitor, and he's like 3 weeks out, what would you do here? Like, if you send that to like a top level coach, like sometimes, like if somebody sent that to me, I'd be like, bro, I got you. So that's how I got into it. That's how I really learned how to do things. It's just, and then practicing.
Study. Yeah.
Yeah, and then practice. I had 9 guys on stage at one fucking time, dude. 9 men on stage. I had
It's a good
a
time.
line up, and I was like, right before they went on stage, I was like, 3 rice cakes, go. 2 rice cakes with jelly, go. Rice cake with honey. You're going to have gummies. You're going to have chicken and rice. You have nothing. Go pump up. Go there. Bro, wild.
It's crazy. You did the opposite than what Marsell and I did as far as like learn to just like study. Then
Yeah,
I was like, all right, you tell me what to do. I didn't take as many notes, and then slowly over time, I'm like, okay, I need to take more from this and make sure I'm applying everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
whoever you're working with as a pro, like Marsell, your coach, I would be fucking tearing into him every week, bro.
I do. Oh, trust me. I'm pretty sure by now Chris likes me but hates me at the same time.
Yeah, one of those fucking clients, huh? Like, look, dude, like, just listen. They're fucking asking me why we're doing something. Like, oh, bro, I know it's totally cool that we're doing this, but like, why, bro?
How did you start the question, Mike? Originally, like, what was
the
it?
fuck.
We just
I both of them kind of went off. Huh?
coming up during shows. Like I was originally like a yo-yo dieter, like so.
Yeah.
Starting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I talked about my initial diet and then my experience with bodybuilding.
Okay. Yeah. For me, I think my biggest mistake was like I started off with a coach that happened to be like a yes man for me. So like I had a little early success. I got a couple of wins, and he kind of just kept telling me go. So I made a mistake on myself. I competed way too often. I did my first classic show in 2017, and from 2017 to 2020, I did 8 shows. So there's a lot of competitions, a lot of time under the gear and stuff like that. I was never taking anything crazy, but my body was like had pretty much no downtime at all. I didn't take an off season. I would just be off for like 8 to 12 weeks, then another prep would kind of start. I mean, I would do my blood work, but it was just like I wasn't actually taking any off season, and I was doing my blood work maybe every year, 18 months. I wasn't like as I am on top of it now. But I think also at first you're a little bit more like he said, like a little naive, a little like, I'll be all right. Just started. a little more.
With bodybuilding, here's what I try to explain to at least to my clients: it's all fun and games until it's not. Like that's the best way I could describe it. Like if you are taking taking the risk of taking PEDs, right? And you're spending the money on PEDs, you should be able to spend the money on the blood work and just stay up on it. Like it's really not as hard as people think it is. So bodybuilding, all fun and games until it's not, until you do that, you get your fucking blood work test back and there's some shit that's upside down. And then you're like, oh, so there is cause and effect here. You know what I mean?
I didn't say that. That's at least fixable most of the time. So imagine you go to the doctor and they find something you're screwed. Life changing. You know what I mean? That happens a lot in our sport too.
Oh yeah.
It's
Sure.
funny how they like fight. Like they won't get their blood work, or they'll forget. They're too busy to get it. They'll forget to get it. They won't want to get it. Like you send them the link to purchase it and take it in. But it's like when it comes to their next cycle, they're like 3 weeks ahead of time. Like, hey, bro, like, what are we thinking here? What should I order? What should I get ready to go, man?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
What the fuck's your blood work, dude? Like,
so here's what I do personally. I think I've said this before. I will not give anybody a protocol until I see their current blood work. I won't.
Yeah.
They're like, can you just tell me what to order? I'm like, no. Trust me, you ordering and waiting a week is not going to kill you. Unless we're on like a super time crunch, of like we were doing a show in 10 weeks, but I barely ever do that anyway. So, you know what I mean? I'm like,
it's warranted.
Yeah. Let's wait for your blood work. Yeah. But what do you think it's going to be? I don't know. Let me look at your blood work and I'll tell you.
Sadly enough, like when I started with coaching, me doing it that little bit, that blood work was my own decision. Literally, the coach I was working with at the time wasn't even telling me to go do that. So that's what I'm saying. It also depends who you work with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been there.
So.
I've been there. It depends who you work with. Some people don't care. Oh, okay, well, this kid wants to keep taking drugs. Oh, fuck it. Let's go. Why not?
Go get your fucking blood work. Like every time a client, like, hey, like we just wrapped up the cycle. It's been 12 weeks. It's been 16 weeks. I put in my notes. I just put blood work in full caps, and then every single time they check in, I say, "Hey, where's your blood work?"
Yeah, that's it. And it's really not that hard anymore. It's so fucking accessible to anybody without health insurance. It's easier to get it without health insurance than it is with health insurance now. So literally you log online, type in a few things, okay, like your name, date of birth, whatever. I will tell you what test to put in your fucking cart, hit checkout, show up to your nearest lab corp, have them poke you with the needle, and then you fucking get the results in your email. It is literally that simple. There's nothing else to it. So whoever keeps fucking overthinking this, stop. Stop overthinking it.
And it's not expensive. And it's not expensive anymore.
$130 for a pretty comprehensive test where I get it without health insurance.
The one I have is $99, but it doesn't have like test or estrogen levels.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. The comprehensive one I get has like A1C. It's got a thyroid panel. It's got a CBC. You know what I mean? So it's got everything you're going to need.
That's what you need. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is this a fucking big deal when a vial of test these days is almost $100?
All fun and games until it's not.
I'm able to get to like authorize what I want them to do on blood work, so I just go through Merrick or something else.
Merrick Health. Yeah. Merrick Health is great.
There's so many things that are at home now too. Like I literally have a whole thing of home A1C tests that I check every like 2 months just to kind of keep, because I'm not going to go to the doctor's to take A1C. I just literally do an at-home finger prick for A1C, make sure it's accuracy, whether or not it is super accurate. At least
you're looking for trends and patterns.
Exactly. You're trying to see, okay, is it going up? Is it going down? Like, is it staying constant? That's all I care about. So I'm doing that every 2 months too. So there's so many other things. It's like you literally could just order it from Amazon. Like you don't even need to go into a doctor for some of these things, right?
Well, here's the easiest one: blood pressure. Check your fucking blood pressure.
How many people
get a blood pressure cuff? It's not that hard. You know what I mean? And I have people that fight me on this shit.
Dude, that's like they say that's the number one like actual like killer too. In our sport, you know what I mean?
It is.
Obviously, that everything else gets complicated. You have issues with the rest of the body because your blood pressure is so high. Your body's running at this speed that's not supposed to be. It's like going 1,000 miles per hour the whole time. So it's like, oh, shit's about to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the issue I had. Anytime I got on prep, my blood pressure was through the roof, and I didn't know it because I wasn't checking it, and that created other problems. So Now, like, I know what I'm looking for. I check my blood pressure. It's controlled. And I don't have that issue anymore. But if I went this is like 3 years ago that I figured it out. If I didn't, where would I be now in 3 years? Like,
Dead.
You never know.
I'm not saying necessarily, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I would be dead, but I'm saying I could be not competing in bodybuilding.
Could have had a heart attack. Could have had
Yes.
heart.
I could have fucked up my fucking kidneys all the way. Thankfully, I didn't fuck them up all the way, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I think, real quick, anybody listening, if you have really big arms or you're really overweight and have big arms, if you get your blood, no, I know, sorry, Louis, 20s, no. If you get, like I said, big. So if you get a blood pressure monitor for your at-home use and you have big arms, you need a bigger cuff.
I have one on Amazon that I sent to people that has the extra large cuff already because you could use it on small people too. So I'm like, just buy this one.
Yeah, if I've had a lot of clients like come back with false negatives, like 135 over 95s or whatever, and I have them go to the doctor and get it checked, and they're in the doctor's office and it comes back in normal range.
Yeah, like 120 already. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't use the bigger cuff. I use the normal size cuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm talking like you got to be a big fucking dude or woman to use an extra large cuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
them.
Or they them.
So or she them.
Or she them. Or he them. Or them thee.
Or her them.
Can we pull up a list? All right.
All the pronouns.
Do you guys want to hit some questions? I've got like 20 minutes. Then you can...
Yeah, let's do it. Let's hit some questions and we'll go from there. Luis, you got any? Anybody's got any good ones?
I got some. I mean, I can just pull it up real quick.
All right, let's go.
Locked and loaded.
Funny enough, and this is probably one of your people, obviously. MDB and every podcast. I think they thought we kicked you out or something. I was going to reply to him. He's under suspension. Leave of absence.
Got in trouble for talking too much shit, huh?
What are good mental strategies you each have uniquely used for this purpose?
Just get it done. Relentless action.
Just get it done. Easy for you every time. Just I'm gonna get the shit done every morning. That's how you wake up.
That's it. I wake up and I have my boxes that I need to check. I don't relax until I check all those boxes. I check all those boxes. The sooner I check them off, the sooner I can relax. That's the way I do it. The sooner I get my steps in, on my non-negotiable list every day. Obviously, all my meals timed correctly, my supplements, my injections if necessary, my cardio, my weight workout, and I think I already said my steps, didn't I?
Yes.
So the sooner
mental approach is just get shit done.
I'm gonna get shit done. Get those done. Go relax.
My thing is as simple as because I love the bodybuilding process. I love the process of dieting. I love pushing myself towards a goal that is fucking difficult. I think literally the only thing I have to remind myself to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do is, oh yeah, I'm going to be standing on stage basically naked in front of hundreds of people. I don't want to look like shit. Like that's really, I'm just like, okay, that's enough. Yep. Got to make sure I do everything that I do. Want to be the best me I could possibly be on stage because I'm going to be literally, I do not want to show up X% worse than I could be. So that's the thing that I mentally tell myself that gets me going if I'm like struggling a bit. There's no excuse to Marcell's point. It's like, okay, you made the decision. You're making the choice to prep. It's like you want to do this. So there shouldn't be an excuse, but that definitely gets me going.
Derek?
I'm not very good at prep, bro. I am not a good competitor.
So nothing, no mental strategy, nothing like that helps psych you up. Like say you don't feel like doing something, like you don't listen to me, like use it for like
caffeine pre-workout. Last week I'm ripping joules. Like I'm going up to 60 mgs of Addies, 900 mgs of caffeine, 2 workouts, 8 hours of cardio. I'm drinking the fucking 0-calorie sweetener syrup stuff. I'm making like egg white whey protein pancakes, like fucking screaming at them. Like, yeah, I am a mental wreck when I prep, bro. I'm not built for this sport, man.
Hey, I love the transparency because some people need to hear that shit. Because I'm sure people do the same thing. You know,
Yeah.
they go through the same shit.
Every time I prep, you know what? I'll give you some advice. Go get your fucking heart broken into a million pieces. Just put on one fucking song that reminds you of that person, or one song that just like reminds you of the situation, and just put that in. And then go do your cardio at 5 a.m. in the morning in the middle of December. And then go tell me that you're going to fuck off on your diet.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's how I started bodybuilding. I got my heart broken. So
that was my 2020 show when I came in, just peeled the fucking bone, dude.
Just crying on the Stairmaster every morning.
Oh, I was crying on the fucking bike.
Is that sweat or tears?
I would put on my I would put my posing song on, and I would just cry to my posing song in my fucking car. So I would just envision myself winning. I would just sit there and just think about it, just like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm gonna fucking win this. Like, you fucking bitch. I'm gonna make sure you see. I'm gonna make sure you see these goddamn stage shots. Like, your family's gonna be sharing them on Facebook. That's how good I'm gonna look.
I'm about to make you my own revenge porn, bitch, and I'm gonna post it myself.
I was like, yep. You're gonna see this everywhere. I actually, after getting my heart broken once when I was way younger, I got an interview with the paper of my small town that I came from. And they printed me in the paper, and it was on the front page of the Fountain Hills Times in Fountain Hills, Arizona. And it got put on every fucking front porch.
That's pretty dope.
That was a big one. Yeah, that's my tip. Get your heart broken. Just fucking do it. Just cry to a million.
Luis, what about you?
Kind of a combination of all you guys are saying. I'm definitely not built for this sometimes, but I have to just remind myself that I'm the one that gets myself into this. I'm the one that decided to prep. I'm the one that's going to get on stage, and it's going to be noticeable if I fuck off. But it's also kind of been something that's hurt me. I've sometimes done too much. Like this last prep, I mean, going from Dennis James, the way I looked, all the way to USA's, I overdid it where like I starved myself. I did more cardio, and it kind of like ruined my look. But that was me also, obviously, I was self-coaching myself, so that's a whole different issue. So yeah.
The one last thing on that to kind of piggyback is like, you're making the choice to do it, and to Marsell, you made a comment earlier. It's like bodybuilding's simple, right? We're really just eating and training. It's like in prep, you can still do the things that you need to do. There's nothing really that else changes. Like you're just eating 10% less food, 20% less food, 30%. You're just eating a little less and doing maybe.
No one's actually starving.
That's it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, when you break it down to like the bare bones, like, yeah, it's pretty fucking simple.
Days, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
perspective is powerful, right?
Perspective, and that's something that you guys know I'm a big proponent of, is nobody's making you do this. If you're going to do it right. Don't waste your family's resources or your family's time to bullshit a bodybuilding prep. If you're going to bullshit the bodybuilding prep, don't do it at all.
I like it.
Next.
This one's going to say in person because they obviously asked about the mental strategy, but not asking, is there any strange things that you eat? So maybe
hold on. All right. Okay, let's just put this to rest once and for all, because I fucking absolutely hate this question. And I hate everything about that question. What do you mean, what are weird things that you eat in prep?
Well, I mean, okay, the way I looked at it, I was say, like, just be
chill, bro. Damn.
Boatloads of salad.
Can I ask a question?
A popcorn bowl of salad with my chicken and rice.
Okay.
Just to give value.
Did your coach tell you to eat that bowl of fucking salad?
Leave the shit? No, I mean, no. I was coaching myself. What do you mean? That's what I just said.
Okay, so did that get you closer to your goal or further away from your goal?
Neither. The salad.
I will argue the difference. If you eat a bowl of salad, okay, you're only going to make yourself more hungry down the line throughout the day. You know that, right? You stretch your stomach with a bowl of salad and you digest that, you're going to be hungry as a motherfucker.
See more salad.
But you have like the salad that makes your stomach. What kind of salads do you eat?
Eat a bowl of salad and tell me you don't feel full. Why would you eat the bowl of salad if it didn't make you feel full?
So you felt like I was eating more in general, like, but I didn't feel like a full stomach. I think you're full off salad.
I have a problem with that. I do, because some people take this overboard. Like legit, they will snack all day on cucumbers, salad, pickles, all day. I get it. add a little here and there. Cool, okay? But what weird things do you eat in prep? If you're asking that question, should you be prepping? Because you should be following whatever the fuck your coach says.
I mean, you can make some BCA popsicle and shit, bro. Like, there's some like some wiggle.
Did that get you closer to your goal, further away from your goal?
BCA is
Marsell,
probably
you're
closer.
you're
That's
back.
just my opinion, though. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Though. Why do that to try and like
And yeah,
make
no, you shouldn't be doing that on a regular basis. Like you said, occasionally, like that. If you have a hard time, you go to sleep, like you're struggling, like I don't know. That's kind of when I did the big salad, right before bed, my last meal, because it kind of
Yeah.
made me feel like I need more. But again, it depends on who you're working with, obviously, your opinion.
No, it should be what your coach says, and it should be pretty transparent with what you do. Like, it should be black and white. Like, in prep, if you are working with a coach, okay, you were coaching yourself, so obviously there was. I'm sure if your coach told you, "Hey, stop eating a fucking bowl of salad," you would stop eating the bowl of salad because that's on your fucking plan, right? So, like, eating weird things in prep to me is like you're only making things worse. You're not going to make things better. Okay? Weird things that I am okay with. Drink a diet soda. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Unless we're a couple days out from the show, drink your diet sodas. I don't care. And if you're close to showing your peeled and you look good and you're drinking 3 diet sodas a day, keep drinking 3 diet sodas a day. I don't give a fuck.
Dude, I would have 6 different diet sodas in the fridge during the end of prep because, like, I think something sweet and flavorful. I literally have like different find like weird,
and that's fine. That's totally fine.
Blast shit, like
yeah, that's totally fine. But the problem, in my opinion, with that question is obviously I don't know who's asking that question, but you should really be not wondering what weird things can I eat off plan to make myself feel better. You should be talking to yourself and being, hey, what can I do to change my mindset to be mentally stronger, to come better to stage? Is this going to get me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? Because at the end of the day, you have to reach some sort of a level of conditioning, right? So everything you put into your body technically gets you further away from your goal. In a very layman, like dumbed down version of things. So why would you add things that are not necessary? It gets you further away from your goal. Get to your goal, and then you'll be able to get more things. Get peeled early. Be 3-4 weeks out. Be peeled. Guess what? Your food is going to go up. Your cardio is going to go down. Great, but get peeled first. Get there, and then you can cruise and coast and reintroduce food and manage fatigue and make sure everything else is fucking great and dandy, but you got to get there. So those things can prolong that process.
I will say, just to not answer the question directly, but to almost spin the question and say things that I purposely save until prep. I do save certain foods or doing certain things until I'm hungry, like beyond just like fibrous foods and voluminous foods and stuff like that. Like Ninja Creamy gets busted out during prep at a certain point. Always, it's like now a new staple. That's, I think, something that a lot of if you communicate it, they might even include into your plan. It's a great
it's just protein and ice.
Protein and cashew milk or something, right?
Yeah.
But that's a bomb thing that I always add in at the prep. At the beginning of prep, I love adding in uncured turkey bacon. Like that's something I throw in breakfast. I swap out whatever fatty protein source I have. So that's kind of a prep treat that, like, for my brain, it literally is a meal I look forward to all the time. And then I always save expensive fish to the end too. I'm like, I buy all the orange roughy, halibut. I spend so much money on fish at the end of prep just because like it's bomb, and mentally for me, I'm like, yes.
You'll enjoy it more. Yeah. You'll want it.
You know? So.
This was the first prep I didn't touch a piece of fish in my life that I just finished. Which is weird.
You, Dirk?
Right?
You ready for this, Marsell?
I already know. I'm fucking starting to sweat before you even answer.
The last prep I did, I took the diet that was sent to me, and I broke it down, and I hate you. I just followed the calorie limit. I didn't do a single fucking macro the entire prep, bro. Carbon up, I was doing cereal and brownies and shit. I was doing whatever the fuck I felt like. I bagged that so hard, bro. I came in and I still won it. Just wasn't big enough to beat Joe Walks. I literally did not listen to a single thing the entire prep. I would do like all these different types of cereals with like this like chocolate milk protein, and I would do like pizzas and stuff. That's where I came up with the pizza recipe. And I would do like little burritos, and I was doing a ton of quest bars. I would whatever the fuck I want, bro. I would just do the whole day. I would just be like, all right, 1,800 calories this week. Boom, let's go.
Marsell, like, this doesn't sound so bad.
No, okay, but here's the difference between 99% of the clients and Derek. Derek did not go to his coach and bitch about his rate of change, about the process, because he knew what he was doing, right? The problem that I get with that type of stuff is people do that, and then they come to us and be like, why? Why am I not lean enough? Why am I
they take the shortcuts. It's like, look, I'm just a fucking freak when it comes to this. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You know what you're doing, right? Like, you know that there's a certain level that you need to reach, and I know that if you found yourself behind, you would turn that shit up, and you would not be eating brownies. I know that.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, all right, well, we're a little bit behind.
Right.
But to be fair, I tore my fucking hamstring 3 weeks out from the show. So
yeah, but to my point is, you know what you're doing, and you're not bitching to somebody else about what you look like.
Yeah, if I would have been complaining to the coach I was working with, Cuban, at the time, he would have been like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, here's your diet.
Yeah, exactly. You know what you're doing. So that's a difference. If you know what you're doing,
I was
working. Why should I give you tips if what you're doing is working? Just keep rocking with it.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you're going to try and do this as a client, you're not going to be able to pull this off. Like, just don't do this. It was not a very smart idea. I just didn't care. I tore my esophagus. Dusty Hanshaw, you know how he was hospitalized?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know what happened to his throat?
Mm-hmm.
I have that exact same condition. I can't eat steak. Like, how he, like, tore it.
Yeah.
Like, he
I
was
think he
choking.
didn't chew it or something.
Huh?
I thought he just didn't, because he jokingly said that he should have chewed more. I thought literally he just didn't chew it enough. There's actually a condition that you have?
Yeah, so acid reflux causes the sphincter at the bottom of your esophagus.
Oh, and it weakens and stuff. Okay.
To scar, so it can't expand all the way. So there's scar tissue there, prevents from expanding. So it'll go through the first tube up here, but then it'll go to the second one, the sphincter. So sphincter 1 goes through, but then it gets stuck right here. So you can still breathe, but you just can't swallow. So I was like trying to like swallow water, and it would just like build up in my throat until I had to like throw up the water. And there was still food stuck there. 4.5 fucking hours I went through this. 4.5 hours, dude. I had to go to the ER. And I get in there, and the smell of the ER made me like super fucking sick. So I throw up the piece of fucking food.
That's awesome. You know, fix yourself.
Let's hit another one, because I know Derek's running out of time here.
5 minutes left. Got to go do some bookkeeping, so I'm gonna be having fun. I'll drop this answer and then dip out.
I guess we kind of already answered this. What do you wish you knew about bodybuilding that would help you significantly in the about sooner or not?
Next, too much bodybuilding. Find something less competition. Mind, money, muscle.
Oh, yeah, like bodybuilding stuff.
You got any, Marsell? Better
Let's
not.
See. I'll
Mind, money, muscle. We've just been muscle.
Well, we did some mind. We did mind because it was asking about mindsets and shit.
We went over the pronouns. That's fine. That's fine. The pronouns.
True. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can find something money related, at least.
Am I the only one that notices like Marsell's kind of going in slow motion? Or is that just me?
I think it's your lag, bro.
I'm in the fucking Matrix.
Well, it's weird. Derek and Mike are like normal, and Marsell's isn't. Yeah, that's weird.
Marsell's lagging.
All right, so I don't have any money ones. That's for sure. Okay.
Do you have any mind?
But No, I have other questions. There's nothing that's money related. And let me pick a good one. Ready?
Drop a good one.
Slide.
Outro track right now, bro.
Okay. Well, we talked about this yesterday, so we're not going to talk about this today again.
No, yeah. And we do once Garrett gets off.
What? Talking shit?
No, there was a topic that you just wanted to stay off of.
So here's a good one. Okay. So, do professional bodybuilders support themselves strictly from competing?
No. I'm all broke, dude. No way. No. I've met so many pros that have jobs.
Yeah.
Very, very few. Like, I've had people tell me, like, I had this one kid tell me he was going to quit his job to go full time in bodybuilding.
Yeah, don't do that.
He was like 5'7", 150. And I was like, my guy, like, this is the worst idea I've ever heard. I was like, I'm not going to be coaching you through this, buddy. No.
Yeah. Long story short,
yeah,
bodybuilders, professional bodybuilders, maybe the cream of the crop, top 15 in the world. Most of them can support themselves from bodybuilding, but not directly from competition prizes. It's more through sponsorships and other different avenues that they have, utilized because of bodybuilding, but not directly bodybuilding. So
let me put it like this: for Ramiko, with his invitation to the Arnold, right? They are inviting us to go out there. Okay, so they are paying for his plane ticket. They're paying for his hotel room. They're giving him $100 to pay for his Ubers or whatever to get from the airport and back, airport to the hotel, and the hotel to back to the airport. And they are giving him $50 per day per diem for food. And they gave him one VIP ticket for me, his coach. He is getting a $2,000 consolation prize. Pretty sure everybody that competes, if they're 10th or higher, gets $2,000, and then up to like 100,000 or whatever. So we're going to the second biggest show on the planet in the open division, and all in all, there's maybe about $5,000 worth of benefits coming out of this. I still have to pay for like my flight. I have to pay for my shit.
yeah.
Your
So
food, I mean, that's a whole other conversation we can have about it. Obviously, the money isn't really, coming out towards the athletes per se.
I've talked to a couple top level guys, top level, like a lot of followers, and we're talking like 1 million plus followers in like Olympia stage. Okay, the contracts they get are like anywhere from like 60 to 100 grand a year, but we're talking like pretty fucking high level here, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe like if you're like top 1% of all IFBB pros,
right,
you are a contender for the Olympia every year. Yes, you can get a supplement company to pay you enough money for you to consider it a full-time career. Other than that, I mean, look, I want to be a bodybuilder, dude. I became a coach to support it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what it is.
Real quick, I'm just going to dip out. Mike, nice to meet you. Sorry, Luis, didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Peace, guys.
See you later, guys.
Yeah.
All I was going to say is that obviously anybody that gets into it, hopefully not getting into it to make money, right? For like in the competition aspect. Yes, you can make money with different avenues, posing, training people, coaching people. All that's a lot of different streams of income. But hopefully no one's thinking that you're going to be a competitive pro and you're going to be rich because of it. Yeah.
For sure. All right, so I think that's going to take us to
real quick. We talked about it. Let's get Mike's opinion on the new division that came out in Brazil.
Well, yeah, Mike.
It's a division. It's just a lone person competing, right?
Yeah.
I think that says it all right there. What was this person's name again?
Division, man. So
yeah, so it was a division. It was one guy in his class. It was somebody that I guess was close to the show promoter. Decided to do him a favor, let him get this trophy, his own division. But like, what's your take on that? Like, actually being possibly a thing. I know it's not really possible because Tim House and now, but what's your viewpoint?
I think even if it became a thing, I don't think there'd be enough people to actually compete in it. Like, just being blunt, I think that this is like in many other scenarios where the minority,
Fantastic, Marsell. What's up?
where the
Those are my
minority
first one.
big voice, right? Or not, they don't have a big voice, they're just very loud. So I think that if this division, like in theory, let's say it came, right, and this was actually a thing, I it'd be smaller than bodybuilding is in local shows. I think there'd be like one person who actually did it, and it'd be the same person doing it in every show. It'd be that one weirdo that everyone knows from that state or that city, right? And they're like, "Yep, we know Joe Schmo, and yep, he's kind of, he is who he
A few
is."
of those master guys getting easy like that.
Yeah, I think even if it was a thing, it wouldn't actually get traction.
No.
Yeah, I agree. It's.
If
I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad that IFBB and NPC is taking the stand that they are, because I just don't think that there's a place for this in our sport at the moment.
But no, and also the argument, they just don't look at it from that perspective. Obviously, like, well, we said,
Yeah.
where's the cutoff? Where's the line of how many of these divisions we're actually going to have? Say another guy comes around, I'm a men's figure, I'm a men's bikini. So
Yeah.
we keep catering to these guys in this class? No, we can't do that. It's like, you guys
Right.
it's right there. That's all you got. Those are options.
But here's the thing: in our sport, it's a very simple. Like, here's a criteria of each division. Pick whichever one you want to compete in, and we all deal with the same shit of, oh, you want to be an open bodybuilder? Great, put on 80 pounds of muscle. Oh, you want to be a classic guy? Oh yeah, why don't you fucking cut your hips in half so you have a small waist and big round muscle bellies and pose well? Oh, you want to be a men's physique guy? Oh, have the most fucking developed upper body you've ever fucking seen with the crazy taper and crazy abs. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with? You pick a division and you work towards it. You can't just say, well, I'm fucking men's wellness and I'm going to have my own class. I think we should just fucking leave it at that. You know what I mean? That makes pretty fucking good sense.
Yeah. You can look however you want to look. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to step on stage for in a specific category. You can still train that way. You can still look that way.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Muffinman, you're up. You're giving top 5 Arnold predictions.
Top 5. So we had some good updates in the last week and a half. So Hottie's for sure in the States. We know that's
He's in. Yep.
That is for certain happening. Remind me. So we have Nexzilla, who's not in it for sure. We know
Andrew's not in it.
Nexzilla and Andrew Jack are out. So you got all the other ones.
Yeah. How are you guys? Before I answer, are you guys you believe in Samson? This is the turning of the tide, or you think this is a?
I believe so.
You think so? That's I can't read it. It's very small because you're sharing.
Yeah. Me and Marsell are equal in the top 2. Where me and him go different is after the top 3. We're doing a point system. So first place gets you 5 points. Second gets you 4. So whoever adds up to the most points is the winner.
I like it. So I also think this is. I don't think bodybuilding's all in like narratives and shit, but like I think they have been making something very clear, and I do think bodybuilding also is comparative between their last showing and progress amongst themselves, not just the lineup alone, right?
Okay.
Yes, it is comparative against who you're seeing on the stage, but at this level, they're looking for progress with Samson's conditioning against Samson's old conditioning. If Hadi shows any sign of regression, I think that's going to knock him down significantly more than it would someone else. I think that they're looking at him under a microscope. So if he doesn't nail it, I think he's going to for sure be second. I think the fact that it's the Arnold, right? Although the posing round seems to be kind of fluffy, seems to kind of be bullshit, I think it could be used to change the scoring in kind of whoever's favor that they want, right? I have Samson first. I believe in Samson. I think it's Samson first, Hadi second. I hope James nails it. I'm gonna put him third.
Like it.
James is like one of my favorite guys. Like I have like a poster up in my posing room where I do all my check-ins of him. Like I look up to the way that he trains. I just love someone who trains just like with that intensity and that type of way. Like
he's a real dude.
Like him, JP. Like I love that shit. So him third. Now fourth is kind of where it's like I think everyone's varies across the board here. Have you guys seen the check-ins of Antoine in the last like 2 days? He's looking
He looks wild.
He looks wildly improved from what we saw him a couple weeks ago. So I'm kind of kicking myself.
I've never seen his upper look like that, especially his back. I've never seen
Yep,
like that.
for sure.
I think it's easy to, the lighting is perfect. Everything's perfect in those pics, but he's looking pretty crazy. So the three that I'm like juggling with in my head, so you guys know, is Rafa, Horse, and Antoine. Those are the three in my head where I'm like, shoot, like I feel like it could go in a lot of ways. Like he's looking peeled. He's looking really good.
Yeah, the upper is like bigger than I can ever remember. That's why I think.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. I was like, huh.
And the thing is, too, right, is like, I don't know if you remember any of his posing routines from his past shows, but he's a beautiful, like, artistic
different
stance, and it's like it's immaculate because of all like the acrobatic shit that he can do. Right, he's super mobile. So I could see him squeaking into the top 5. I feel like Rafa's updates haven't been that.
Rafa looks good too.
I love his shape. He's looking good, but I haven't been blown away with his check-ins. Where I'm same with Marsell, where I'm like, I think everyone's kind of hyping him up a lot, but I don't think he's gonna squeak. I don't squeak, so yeah, I'm rambling on. I gotta just pull the trigger. I'm gonna put Rafa fourth, and then I'm gonna put Antoine in 5th.
I like it. We got more variety.
Yeah, dude, they're all so different. It's interesting. So just to give a little review of everything so far, the picks. So I went with Samson and Hottie, which is similar to Mike and Marsell, but then it changes because I went with Rafa 3rd, Marsell went James, Mike went James. You guys went the same for the 4th. You each went Rafa, and then you went different on 5th. Marsell went Justin. You went with Antoine.
Justin's looking good too. Justin's looking really good. Yeah.
And then Sid threw a curveball. Go ahead, sorry. What?
I said Justin always finds a way to sneak in, and he hasn't been on stage for a while. When Justin's fresh, he's dangerous because he's so fucking wide through his clavicles and up top that he just looks wacky.
Yeah, he's I could see that being accurate. Those are good picks. Those are good picks for sure.
Yeah, and then Sid though.
Good.
Sid threw the curveball of De La Rosa for 5th.
Another fair guess, right?
Could. Yeah, it could happen.
You can see it happen.
Hey, Mike, why isn't Muffinman Mike?
The story's not that deep. The story is in college when I was fat boy training weights, before competing, I literally would have like 2 muffins before every single workout. And my friend,
that's what I figured.
Friend Nick, growing up, literally just called me Muffin Man because I would literally have muffin. I'd literally go to the grocery store, get 2 fresh like blueberry or chocolate muffins, come back to the gym that I was working at, eat them at the front desk while I was working before the workout because I would always train after I closed down the gym. And that's it. Just know, it's stuck, and I just all right, lean into it. I guess.
Hey, you can't let that blood glucose come down too fast.
Oh man, we need that fat to stabilize it. That's why the muffins are the secret.
That's it, man. Anything else we want to go over? Anything else you want to add, Luis?
No, I can't really think of much. I think I'm good.
Mike,
anything you guys want to add?
Mike, why don't you let everybody know where we can find you? Instagram, Instagram or what's your Instagram handle and what's your Facebook or website or whatever you got?
Yeah, you can just find me on Instagram. My name is Muffinman Mike. Pretty much across the board, if I have any account, I name it Muffinman Mike. But yeah, just find me on Instagram there. And if you have any questions, people can always DM me. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. Fun conversation.
Yeah, it was fun, dude. We'll have to check in with you again whenever you're available. We'll have you come on back. Obviously, we have this bet going on. We're gonna do a live.
We're gonna do a live viewing for Arnold.
Yeah, if you want to hop on with us, to get some time in between. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun. I'm excited for that one.
That'll be cool.
That'll be good. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Please do us a favor. Go like, comment, subscribe, share on all different platforms. Give us some different ideas, whatever you got for us. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Peace.
Later, guys.